Come on in, guys. My name is Anthony Bertolo. For over 2 decades, Survivor has fascinated viewers with its sporadic gameplay, exhilarating challenges, jaw-dropping moments, and, most importantly, its colorful contestants that make the show so enjoyable to watch. However, as with any show that has been on the air for such a long time, it is expected that new twists would be implemented into the game to keep it fresh and exciting. While most of these twists have had a positive impact on Survivor and have comfortably ingrained themselves in the fabric of the show, others have actively broken the game and have unfairly resulted in the demise of numerous contestants. While many of these lousy twists are retired after one occurrence, others keep coming back and rear their ugly head. So this begs the question, can this reality television titan fix these outrageous twists? We'll find the answer on Survivor Twist Tweaks. In the game of Survivor, fire represents your life, and once the fire in your torch is out, so are you. This has been the core premise of the show since the beginning, and it gives the players a feeling of power, knowing that when they eliminate their competitors, they are getting closer to the end of the game. This is a necessity to keep the integrity of Survivor intact. However, there were certain points in previous seasons where Survivor has given eliminated contestants a chance to win their way back into the game. In most of these Battleback formats, there are 2 reentry points, one at the merge and one at the finale. Unfortunately, they were heavily met with mixed response from fans and critics alike. People believed that these Battlebacks took away from the show's premise of voting people out and sending them home permanently, because now, when a player is voted out, they could go to a separate location and battle their way back into the game with an equal shot to win. This was ultimately seen as unfair to the players who naturally made it further into the game, especially on finale night where they worked so hard to get there. While many of these Battlebacks were met with criticism, nothing upset people more than the Edge of Extinction introduced in Survivor Edge of Extinction and Survivor Winners at War. This twist was meant to dive into the psychological aspect of Survivor. However, it was heavily despised despite promising aspects. The Edge of Extinction allowed players to wait days on end on a separate island. This twist was meant to push players mentally to stay on the edge with little food or water just for a minor shot at getting back in the game. If at any point a contestant had enough, they could raise a white sail and promptly leave the game, forfeiting their spot on the jury in the process. While the producers hoped that the Edge of Extinction would cause players to form alliances to manipulate each other to quit, the residents on the edge instead bonded immensely and became a tight-knit group. Plus, the contestants who lost their reentry challenge at the finale would ultimately join the jury and may most likely vote for the Edge returnee to win due to the fact that they bonded with them for several days outside of the regular game. This was seen as unfair to the players who reached the finale or the end normally, as they could lose to someone who they may have voted out successfully earlier in the season. Fortunately, host Jeff Probst stated that the Edge of Extinction would not be seen for the foreseeable future. However, he did not rule out using it in the future. So, with the possibility of the Edge of Extinction returning, could it be tweaked to make it more fair for the players who reach the finale? We'll find out after this break.
You know right away when a car is good. And you really don't know until you drive it around a racetrack. Every 1,000 RPMs, it changes in tone and octave, and you have a very rear-wheel drive feel and balance with the vehicle, but you also have the security of an all-wheel drive system. You know, you get the hair standing up on the back of your neck, and once that thing crests over 8,000 RPMs, whether it's the V8 or the V10, it's an incredible experience.
Just as we discussed, the Edge of Extinction was heavily met with disapproval. It allowed a player who got voted out to mingle with the potential jury on a separate island with a chance to get back in the game. Should this player win the Battleback at the finale and make it to the end, they could easily win because they were bonding with the jury that entire time. So with the possibility of the Edge coming back to rear its ugly head, The question remains, can Survivor tweak the Edge of Extinction to make it more fair for the players who reach the finale? And the answer lies in the outcast twist from Survivor Pearl Island. In Survivor's 7th season, it introduced a twist at the final 10 where the first 6 eliminated players came back as a third new tribe. Now the way the Battleback challenge worked was that if the outcasts beat both of the 2 remaining tribes, they could vote 2 people back into the game. If they came in second in the challenge, they would only vote 1 person back into the game. However, if the outcasts lost, they would not vote anybody back into the game. Regardless of the outcome, this twist was retired right before the merge. Now I bring this up because the merge returnee does not get as much criticism as the finale returnee because they still have the whole second half of the game to play. In contrast, the finale returnee only has a couple of rounds to go before potentially reaching the end of the game. So the way that the Edge of Extinction can be improved is to eliminate the reentry point at the finale and change the Battleback challenge from the merge from an individual challenge to a team challenge similar to the outcast twist from Pearl Islands. The contestants on the Edge would be on the outcast tribe and go head to head with the 2 tribes that still have contestants who are still in the game. The same rules that applied to the original outcast twist would be applied here, so if the outcasts come in first or second in the challenge, they will vote 1 or 2 of their members back into the game. However, if they come in last, then nobody will re-enter. Thus, there is the potential for multiple contestants to re-enter the game at once, or the potential for nobody to re-enter if the outcasts lose the challenge, letting the game progress normally. The possibility of no one re-entering would motivate the outcast to fight harder to win the Battleback challenge for a chance to get back into the game. Also, the outcast voting someone back in the game allows less physical or socially savvy players to have a fair chance to re-enter, as opposed to the challenge being the only way to re-enter the game. Battlebacks should not come at the cost of players who made it to the finale only for a wild card with strong connections with the jury to re-enter the game and potentially win the season. It essentially defeats the purpose of the show as a whole. Hence, tweaking the Edge of Extinction's Merge Battleback challenge to adopt the outcast format would allow for the possibility of 1 or 2 people to re-enter the game at the merge without having a Battleback at the finale. Also, there is the possibility of no one re-entering the game, allowing it to play out naturally. Lastly, with the outcast voting people back into the game, it gives the less physical players an equal shot to re-enter the game. That's all the time we have for today, folks. Tune in next time for another episode of Survivor Twist Tweaks. I'll see you then.